by the same congressman. It was called the Sanctity of Life Act. And the Sanctity of Life Act would basically do two things. The Sanctity of Life Act would, number one, it would identify and categorize an unborn child under the law as a person. Wow. A human being. Therefore, deserving of all of the protection of the law. Same law that would protect your life and would exact penalties for those who would take your life would also apply to the unborn child under this law. It would declare an unborn child to be a person under the laws of the United States of America. Now we know it's a person under the laws of God, but it would be a person under the laws of the United States, which right now it's not. That's why you can kill it. The second thing this Sanctity of Life Act would do, it would, using Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution, it would exempt abortion from the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Meaning what? Meaning that all the Republican Senate had to do, meaning that all the Republican House had to do, would pass the Sanctity of Life Act, and all George W. Bush had to do was pass the Sanctity of Life Act. And ladies and gentlemen, if they had done that, Roe v. Wade would have been overturned that quick. That quick. So, Mr. McCain, why did you not introduce in the Senate a Senate version of the House Sanctity? Oh, by the way, the House version of the Sanctity of Life Act that I'm referring to was sponsored by Congressman Ron Paul. The same Ron Paul that the establishment Republican Party, like John McCain, accused of not being pro-life, accused him of not being conservative enough, accused him of not being pro-life enough. It was Ron Paul who introduced the only piece of legislation required to do something constructive about ending this national holocaust of Roe versus Wade and this legalized abortion that we now know as this national holocaust that we're talking about. And yet, John McCain didn't sponsor it in the Senate. George W. Bush never said one word about it whenever he was president of the United States. And every year, Ron Paul would introduce the Sanctity of Life Act, and every year it would sit in the document room of the Rayburn House building in Washington, D.C. and collect dust. And yet the Republicans would come back in election time and say, vote for us, we're pro-life. And the National Right to Life Committee gets out there and raises money and says, we got to vote for the Republican ticket because they're pro-life. This is the kind of gamesmanship that's been going on in Washington, D.C. for too long. And I don't care whether it's the abortion issue or whether it's the Second Amendment issue or whether it's any other issue that you feel strongly about. These two parties in Washington, D.C. have been playing the American people for suckers for far too long, and it's time we wake up to it and put a stop to it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're pro-life, show me you're pro-life. Don't tell me you're for the Second Amendment, show me you're for the Second Amendment. Don't tell me you believe in the Constitution, show me you believe in the Constitution. And until we get back to the realization that this rhetoric and political partisanship that we've known for so long, until we get back to reality and start electing men and women that are going to be responsible to the Constitution, men and women that are going to be men and women of their word, men of honor and integrity, women of honor and integrity, who understand the issues, who understand the Constitution, and are willing to do what they pledge to do. Until we do that,